The morning sun filtered through the massive bay windows of Kelly Haughton's luxury estate, but the brightness did nothing to lift the darkness in her chest. She sat at the marble kitchen table, the untouched coffee beside her long-gone cold. Her trembling hands gripped a stack of glossy photographs, each one more devastating than the last. There was no denying it. The man in those pictures, Roland Pierce, her fiancé, her forever, was in bed with another woman. Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Turn on your notification bells so you never miss a video. Now, let's dive into the rest of the story. His familiar features, his sharp jawline, blonde tousled hair, and signature Rolex on his wrist were unmistakable. But so was the intimacy he shared with someone who wasn't her. Her heart pounded in her ears, her vision blurred as tears poured down her cheeks, falling onto the polished surface of the table. "No, this can't be real," Kelly whispered, her voice cracking. Across from her sat Deon, her closest friend. The same Deon she had met back in college, the Jamaican-born firecracker with a big heart and fierce loyalty. Deon's usually confident voice was hushed with concern. "They were in your mailbox," Deon said, gently touching Kelly's hand. "No return address, just left there. I didn't know if I should open it, but I did, and I couldn't let you see this alone." Kelly's chest rose and fell as a sob caught in her throat. She glanced again at the images, like looking at a slow-motion wreck she couldn't stop. 2 months. That's how long until she said "I do" in front of hundreds of guests. 2 months until she became Mrs. Roland Pierce. But now she couldn't even breathe. Deon slid the pictures aside and leaned forward, her voice firm but kind. "Kelly, I know this hurts like hell, but maybe it's better you found out now, before you married him, before he ruined your life more than this." Kelly shook her head slowly, pain etched into every line of her face. "I don't understand. He said he loved me. He's out of town. He's supposed to be preparing everything for the wedding. How could he?" "He's a coward," Deon snapped. "And cheaters always find a way to cover their tracks. But whoever sent those pictures, they wanted you to see the truth." The silence in the room was heavy, broken only by Kelly's quiet sniffles. She wished her brother Shane was here. He always knew what to do, always had a level head, even when hers was spinning. He was out of the country on business but promised to be back in 3 days. And right now, she needed him more than ever. She didn't want to talk to Roland. Not until she had her thoughts in order. Not until she could see clearly through the fog of betrayal. "I don't know what to do, Deon," she whispered. Deon reached for her again, her voice softening. "You wait. You take time. You don't owe him anything right now. When Shane gets back, we'll figure it out. Together." But in Kelly's heart, a war was already raging. Was there more to the story than what those pictures showed? Could she believe anything Roland ever said again? And what would Shane tell her to do? The days that followed were nothing short of torment. Kelly ignored every one of Roland's calls. The man who once made her feel like the center of his universe now made her feel sick to her stomach. She kept hearing Deon's words over and over in her head. "He's a liar, Kelly. He's a cheat." And the pictures, they were seared into her memory. She barely ate. She barely slept. The once vibrant home felt like a cage, suffocating her in silence and sorrow. Then, on the 7th day, he showed up. Roland stood at her front door, tired, worried, and disheveled. His usual calm confidence was replaced with desperation. "Kelly, what's going on? Why won't you answer my calls?" She didn't speak. Instead, she turned, walked into the kitchen, picked up the envelope, and threw the stack of photos across the foyer floor. The color drained from Roland's face as he bent to pick them up. "What? What is this?" "You tell me," she snapped, voice sharp with betrayal. "That's you, Roland, in bed with some woman. Explain that." He stared at the images, shaking his head. No, this isn't real. I don't know where these came from, but I swear to you, Kelly, this never happened. It's got to be photoshopped. Look at the lighting, the angle. This isn't even my room." But Kelly couldn't hear him. All she heard was Deon's voice, accusing, certain, relentless. She pulled the diamond ring from her finger and dropped it in his hand. "I'm done," she said, coldly. "Leave." Roland's voice cracked. "Kelly, please, don't throw away 3 years over something like this. We're getting married. We built a life together." "Not anymore," she whispered. "Just go, and give me space." Defeated, Roland walked out the door, murmuring under his breath, "I'll get to the bottom of this. I promise." That night, Kelly cried herself to sleep, curled on the sofa in the same clothes she'd worn all day. Her heart felt like it was splitting open. The next morning, Deon sat beside her and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You need to get away, Kelly. Clear your head. Heal. Why don't you go to Jamaica for a little while?" Kelly blinked through swollen eyes. "Jamaica?" "Yes. My family will take care of you. You need rest, peace. Your company will survive 2 weeks without you." Kelly hesitated. "I should wait for Shane. He said he'd be back in 2 days. But Deon was insistent and fast. She had already booked the flight, helped pack Kelly's bags, and even arranged for her brother in Montego Bay to pick her up from the airport. Kelly, emotionally drained and desperate for relief, agreed. Hours later, Kelly sat in a window seat on a flight to Jamaica. The clouds drifted past as she drafted an email to Shane, explaining what had happened, the name of the hotel she'd be staying at, and asking him to call her when he got the chance. But when Shane called her later that night, there was no answer. He tried again the next morning. Still nothing. Worried, he called Roland. "Where is my sister?" Shane demanded. "What the hell happened?" Roland, already deep in his own investigation, was stunned. "She said she was going to Jamaica. Deon said her brother would pick her up. That's all I know." Shane called Deon immediately. She sounded confused, but calm. "My brother picked her up and dropped her at the hotel," Deon said. "He hasn't seen her since." But when Roland and Shane called the hotel, they were told Kelly had never checked in. 2 days passed. No word, no text, no sign of Kelly. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her credit cards hadn't been used. Her name didn't appear on any guest logs in the area. Kelly Haughton had vanished. And now the questions were darker than before. Where was she? Had something terrible happened to her? Was Deon's family truly involved? Or had Kelly simply run away? And if someone did want her gone, who was behind it? The next morning brought no peace, only terror. Both Roland and Shane awoke to identical emails in their inboxes. No subject line, no sender name, just a cold, direct message. "We have Kelly. If you ever want to see her alive again, wire $5 million each to the attached offshore account within 48 hours. No police, no games, no delays. One wrong move, and she's gone." Shane's heart dropped. Roland's fists clenched. This was no runaway. This was a kidnapping. Shane paced his office, fury and fear boiling inside him. We can't just send the money. There's no guarantee they'll let her go. She could already know too much. We need to find her. Fast. Roland, pale and seething, slammed his laptop shut. Then we do it my way. We're going to Jamaica. By nightfall, Roland's private jet was in the air, carrying Roland, Shane, and a 5-member investigation team. Ex-military, cybersecurity, and tactical operatives Roland trusted with his life. They landed at Sangster International Airport under heavy cover, taking no chances. Roland wanted to wire the money immediately, but Shane stood firm. "Don't be emotional," he told him. "They might never let her go if we pay up. They might already be planning to disappear." The team's first stop, the hotel where Kelly was supposed to have checked in. The front desk confirmed it. Kelly Haughton had never checked in. But the real breakthrough came when they accessed surveillance footage from the lobby's exterior cameras. There she was, Kelly, stepping out of a car driven by Deon's brother, just like Deon had said. But then, moments after Deon's brother drove off, another car, dark gray, tinted windows, pulled up to the curb. 2 men exited. One popped the trunk and calmly started loading Kelly's luggage. The other approached her, spoke briefly, then took her by the elbow. The camera zoomed in just enough to catch a glimpse of her face. Terror. Frozen. Wordless. She wasn't getting in willingly. She knew something was wrong, Shane muttered. Look at her eyes. Roland's jaw clenched. Who are these bastards? As they worked through the footage frame by frame, Shane's phone buzzed. It was Deon. I just landed, she said. I couldn't stay away. Please, let me help find Kelly. She's my best friend. I feel like this is all my fault. Shane hesitated, then agreed. We'll meet at the hotel. We're close to something. Through the night, the team worked, piecing together fragments, tracking vehicles, calling in digital favors, combing through phone data and regional contacts. Then, at 3:12 a.m., Roland's phone lit up with a text message from an unfamiliar number. It contained one sentence, I can give you Kelly. I know where she is, but you won't believe who's behind it. Attached was a location pin, a remote estate in the hills, well outside Montego Bay's tourist areas. The men stared at it in disbelief. This changes everything, Shane muttered. She's alive. But we're running out of time. With the exchange deadline just hours away, Roland and Shane reached out to a high-ranking police contact in Montego Bay, someone Shane had worked with during past Haughton business expansions. They handed over the evidence. The police agreed to move discreetly. That morning, as the team finalized the raid plan, Deon left the hotel, claiming she needed to meet with concerned family members. She promised to be back before the ransom handover. Shane watched her walk away, a strange chill creeping up his spine. Something didn't sit right, but there was no time to second-guess. Kelly's life depended on what happened next. If you enjoyed the story, please give the video a like, share it with a friend, and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Leave your predictions as to what happened to Kelly in the comments. See you in part 2. And remember, love is free.